Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another 12 Days of Teardowns. I'm here with Maggie Pavesa, lead strategist on our team. Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
And I'm Natalie, director of CRO strategy here. And today we are looking at the Costco website. This one is particularly close to Maggie's heart. Maggie loves Costco. Can you speak to that a little bit, Maggie?
Yeah, I've been a Costco member for probably 10 years now, and so I'm wearing my Kirkland signature sweatshirt today just to um just because I'm a big fan.
Amazing. Well, I am not a fan. You've taught me a little bit of the ways of being a Costco fan over the years. We've shopped there before when we've done volunteer events and packed, warming kits or food bags for students, but I haven't really been on their website. So you're already a member of Costco. I am not a member, and we're going to see what the experience looks like as a guest, someone who's not logged in or anything today.
Yeah, and I want to preface that I mainly shop in stores, so I don't have a ton of experience on their website, so this will be an interesting experience for me as well.
Great. Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of when they prime us to become a member, if at all, and just what the site looks like.
Mhm.
All right. So first impressions, it just loaded there. What do we see first?
Looks like we are, oh, I was gonna say we were focused on deals, but we just got a pop-up.
Yeah, I have like almost the impression that it's kind of zoomed in. Like they have some really big images, but there's not a lot that I'm seeing on the site. Pop-ups, as we know, can create sort of a poor first impression depending on how many they see, what we're asking for, etc. I think with this one, we know that either you're already a member or you should be becoming a member. So maybe I'll give them a pass there.
Yeah, it is interesting that they're showing member only and online only promotions, and they're asking for a membership number to sign up for their emails. It just adds a little bit of friction at that point.
Yeah, or perhaps a little bit of incentive to become a member. Maybe that's doing the job of priming me to feel like, oh, okay, I have to be a member in order to get the benefits here.
That's a good point.
Okay, well, let's exit out of that and take a look at the site. One thing I'm noticing is a pattern that we see on more big box sites. I feel like this is really common on furniture stores, for example. Their menu doesn't have a lot of, text hierarchy. So it almost looks like breadcrumbs. It's so like small in terms of typeface. I do see they're highlighting deals, shop is over here, but they're covering a lot of categories here. Any thoughts on the menu?
Yeah, I think they have to, I mean, they have so many shopping categories and other goals of the site. Like I could see memberships in there, travels in there. So they're just trying to address these different audience groups of the people who are actually coming to the site to shop and people who shop for like a grocery product versus people who are coming for some of the other Costco services. So I think this is one way that's interesting. They're not overwhelming us with shopping categories up front. I imagine a lot of people are using search, which is why they've um, put such an emphasis on the search bar. But it is a lot of content in the here or in the navigation with just the main navigation bar, the utility area, sign in, orders and returns and cart, and not a lot of like differences in font weight or color to help establish a hierarchy here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's interesting to call it that utility menu. It seems like there was probably some internal consternation around what to put in the menu. And so they just put everything that they couldn't agree was of top importance up in this utility area. And we generally see that the utility area is reserved for things that are sort of like of lower importance or not as important to the conversion journey. Often they're things like order resolution, questions and answers, location, things like that. In this case, I would just be interested to know if they've ever tested kind of more of a shopping centric menu, something that features some of their top categories. Because to me, at this point, it doesn't feel like this website is primarily for shopping. It feels like the website is primarily for members to get other kinds of services and not necessarily to shop online, which, if that's their goal, I think they're doing a good job of it. But if not, it could be a little more conversion focused for the day I'm looking to shop.
I'm also dying to know what treasure hunt is, but I guess that's for another time.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm interested in this "'Tis the Season" Sony banner here. It almost looks like an ad. My eyes kind of skimmed over it and went straight to these four categories here. What do we say about banners and things that look like an ad on a website?
Um, I would guess since it looks like an ad, users are going to be more prone to banner blindness. They might not notice this because they do believe it's an ad not related to the content on the site and maybe more inclined to skip over it. It's really lacking some of the conventions that we would expect to see with a typical hero area, just in terms of like the height and width of the image. It's not full bleed. It's not tall enough to suggest that this is the primary thing we want your attention on. And maybe that is the goal here. They're just trying to show one brand and get people more into the deals, but it is just kind of drawing away from that Sony advertisement space there.
Yeah, it almost feels like a contractual obligation. Like we have a deal with Sony, we have to put them on our homepage, but we really want people to click on something else. And we often see in heat maps that people will completely avoid, like mouse movement will go completely outside of a banner and not hover on a banner because folks are really used to avoiding them. And that just kind of harkens back to the days of like when you had an AOL CD, for those of us who are old enough to remember when the internet had, dial up sounds. There used to be a banner that you would have to sort of move around in order to see the site unless you paid for an ad-free version of AOL or whatever service provider you had at that time. So yeah, we've really learned banner blindness, and maybe that'll change someday. But today, I'm guessing people tend to ignore that. So scrolling down a little bit on the page, they're really focused on Black Friday deals, which makes sense for the time being the lead up to the holiday. I'm not really sure what Deck the Halls is. Maybe that's some decorations for the holidays. Other than that, it looks like they're mainly featuring deals, which I'm guessing is a big reason folks are on the site today.
Yeah, one thing I notice Costco does with their deals is they tell you how much they're saving. And maybe that's a good thing because off of like a Dyson, if I'm saving 150, I mean, that's a lot of money, but it also tells me that it's going to be expensive knowing that they can give me $150 off.
Yeah, that's such a good point. We've tested, depending on the environment, the page, the product, showing percent off versus dollar savings. And for different contexts, it can work better in this situation to show percent savings because we're not priming folks to feel like this is a really large expense. So I would be interested to know if they're testing the dollar savings versus percent savings on the homepage. Anything else on this area that's sticking out to you?
Yeah, I could see they're using red somewhat strategically just to get people into their current savings. The It looks like, I mean, from the image it looks like that's the savings booklet I get in the mail. And so they're trying to get people who are already receiving mail from Costco probably into some of those deals. So it is drawing my eye towards starts today. I know I can get to those savings now, but it's interesting that they don't use it in other places, like to tell me that some of their featured products are on $150 off, for example.
Yeah, interesting. So you're saying like I'm primed to see red and know that that is a savings. So I almost expect to see that here and see like what kinds of savings I might have on computer deals or TV deals as well, like highlighted in red. I love that call out. I also think it's really interesting that they're just straight up featuring what you refer to as like the brochure or similar. We often see that on sites with a lot of SKUs, folks are landing on those pages that have those sort of featured deals that they may have seen in a physical pamphlet or advertised in store. And so it's cool that they're giving people a way to shop through that online. If that's like a shoppable online brochure, even better. I like that they're adding the date that the sale ends to this. It adds a little bit of a sense of urgency. I know that, if I'm looking for a particular deal on something, if I'm given the end date of the sale, I might be more motivated to make that purchase or plan it into my budget. All right, so we're scrolling a bit down the homepage, and I'm realizing at this point this page is very long. I'm interested to know how far folks make it down this page. At this point, we've been presented so many different offers, but if we start scrolling down, anything else that stands out to you?
Looks like we have an auto rotating carousel to show even more deals that we have.
Yeah, and we know that from other research from our colleagues in industry that folks tend to read the last slide at about 2%. So they're not really hanging on to view all of the deals. Either that, or we'll see in heat maps if people are really high intent, just like strong click density in that right arrow just to see all of them. So it can have a little bit of a mixed effect there. One thing I'm noticing on this page is it feels like they're featuring pretty high dollar amount items throughout the page. So we're seeing TVs, computers, even vacuums that are over several $100s. So it seems like they're putting their best discounts first.
Yeah, and I would argue these are some of the products people would probably look to at least researching online first. You're probably not going into a warehouse and deciding without reading some reviews that you want this $2,000 fridge. So,
Yeah, I think that's a good point. If you're on the homepage, sort of like what phase of discovery or research are you at in terms of your couch buying or refrigerator buying journey? Those people might tend to land more on product pages rather than the homepage. So it is interesting here, like we're showing them so that people who are unaware of these savings might get interested. But for those people, this feels pretty top of funnel. All right, so now we're getting into what I think of when I think of Costco, which is sort of a mixed bag of like groceries, same day delivery, getting, both my food delivered as well as a TV if I needed it. I'm interested to know if they've ever tested that 2-day delivery and same day delivery features or calls to action, like higher in the menu. I'm wondering or guessing that lots of folks might be coming here for that purpose. So it seems like this could be a great place to feature like same day or like start shopping now. Any other callouts in this area? About halfway down the page now.
looks like we now have another carousel of products. We're doing a different kind of visual treatment to show the savings here. And this is where I start to see the member only item deals. So,
Mm.
I mean, I think a lot of people are coming here with the knowledge that Costco does require a membership to shop in stores. But it's interesting seeing now some of these items next to each other. Some of them are labeled as members only item and some of them are not. So it's some nice priming to know that if you don't have a membership, you might be able to still shop here, and also just give you an idea of what kind of savings you'll get if you do become a member.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that's serving two purposes. It's giving me validation if I'm not a member that I can still save here, and it's giving me motivation to become a member if I'm not already. I had another call out about this section, but I can't remember what it was. Mm. Oh, it was categories. So one thing I'm not seeing on this site so far as I scroll up and down is a lot of features of just kind of what categories of things I can get. So I'm seeing a lot of individual products highlighted. But like I said, folks that are browsing the homepage, they might be sort of like more open to discovery. And products are one way you can do that, but we've had a lot of really good luck testing categories in this area. So rather than showing this like power percussion deep tissue massager, it might show back massagers or electronics that you can get for X amount of percent off. Here I'm seeing this as gifts under $100. That might be better served as like a call out and a picture featuring a number of products than just displaying those outright. So I'd be interested to see if they're testing categories on this page rather than single products.
Yeah, maybe it's just featured lower down because they're so product focused right now. We'll see. We've already scrolled almost halfway.
I know, we're barely halfway. And here's where we see even more banners. So this looks like I have how many designers do you think worked on all of these banners? So lots of different silos, which could fill the purpose of being somewhat eye-catching. But one thing that I'm not seeing is I'm not being very trained to look for similar information in similar ways. So for instance, like here I have the up to $500 off in red. Here it's in another typeface. Here I don't have any of that. No price savings here. So I'm almost like comparing like where are the better deals and where should I go? And that information is all over the place. So I would say this is a pretty heavy cognitive load, and it's forcing me to do a lot of reading.
Yeah, now that we've seen that some items are members only pricing, you start to wonder with some of these deals what other people can get access, what everyone can get access to.
Definitely. I have to say I'm enticed by the family sleepwear. Love the matching sets. All right, so we might be getting inspired to shop a little bit. Any other call? It's kind of in this mid section. It feels like they're doing a lot of different stuff here. Gift baskets feel really seasonal, so it does feel like they're kind of meeting the moment right now. Again, I see another category with a lot of different products featured. I would argue that this is maybe not the easiest way to compare those. So getting me to like more of a landing page where I can compare specs or features, or just even seeing those kind of displayed in like a more communicative way in a side-by-side comparison could be more helpful here. I'm not really doing any meaningful differentiation from this page.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail in the name of the product, but that's just not how I want to learn about it.
Hmm. One thing I am getting from this page is I feel like I can find anything here. If I really wanted to do one-stop shopping for the season, it feels like I can get everything I need on this website, depending on whether or not I'm a member, of course.
It's interesting we're seeing a sign up today so low on the page.
I didn't even see it. Oh, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, my eyes kind of glazed over that because there's so much information. I almost feel like that's like a call to action that could follow me down the page at this point. I can either start shopping or I can sign up and become a member to get the savings. So I wonder if they've ever tested like a sticky call to action or a sticky navigation that does something like that. All right, Maggie, what are we buying? Anything? I think you get to find out what treasure hunt is, maybe.
Oh, doesn't
Or
look like it.
no, it's just featured.
While supplies last. I have no idea what that means.
Hopefully, the people that are coming here for it do. We're getting to the bottom of the page, so any other call outs here?
Looks like we were shown some items you may like, which is nice to see if it is more personalized to what I've browsed before. That might be something I'd want to see higher on the page, just if I am a returning user, particularly for some of these higher price items. Like if I were to research the mattress on the site and then maybe go in the store and check it out, it would be nice to be able to see that easily, to be able to find that product again if I am considering purchasing online.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen a lot of variance in how effective these kind of personalized sections are. You'll see often, like on Target, they have three or four of them featuring other products. And that can depend on both like the title, items you may like, selected for you, recently viewed, to the actual content shown here and how that's displayed can all affect like the effectiveness basically of that area. So I'd be interested to know if they've done any testing here. Well, do you think we should give them feedback? I mean, they've been asking us for it this whole time.
Oh,
Is that offering anything to you?
I didn't even see where you clicked to get that.
Right
That's
on the
the
right-hand
feedback
side.
tab.
I do love a good passive survey collection. I always click the happy face, sad face when I'm at IKEA. So I bet the customer service team appreciates that opportunity to improve. Well, it looks like they're pushing a lot of deals here. I have a lot of questions about what they're testing in the navigation and what they've tested featuring on the homepage. Also, just like kind of what their assumptions are of people who are on the homepage. It feels like they're using it a little bit like an extended brochure, almost like featuring deals. I would be interested to know if they've done any testing to give people a little more direction and maybe make this moment a little more high intent than just encouraging people to kind of browse all the deals.
Yeah, I agree. I think the main opportunities we talked about had to do with just wayfinding and navigation. And then since the homepage is so deal focused right now, how are they displaying those savings most effectively and kind of priming the user to expect the best deal and also expect the best deal because they are a member?
Yeah, definitely. Well, fun site, and I know you'll be visiting Costco at a location near you very soon. Thanks so much, Maggie. Happy 12 days of Christmas.
Thank you.